Welcome to the version 1 SAM Teams series of short fireside chats. My name is Jason Pepper and I will be joined in these sessions by my colleague Brian Lavelle. In each of these videos we will take a few minutes to talk about all things software asset management and license optimization and highlight some of the license impacts caused by typical business compelling events or change. In this chat we'll discuss some of the challenges your business may face if you do not have the specialist vendor licensing skills in-house and what you can do to mitigate against issues whilst managing ongoing BAU activities.
So obviously in the SAM team we work with a lot of customers for providing external consultancy and support and stuff like that. What is it that customers kind of find difficult, or where are the struggles that they get from trying to manage these vendors, either with small in-house teams or no in-house teams? What kind of things cause them headaches?
Well, obviously it differs from customer to customer, but the bulk of the problems that we see customers struggling to deal with when they've got an in-house SAM team is that enterprise licensing is difficult, and it can be very complicated, and it can also carry a large financial risk. And an in-house team essentially has to be skilled in many vendors. So the average enterprise organisation has in excess of 100 different vendors' software in their estate. Some of them can be in the millions, and some of them are in the couple of hundreds. But each one of those software grants has to be managed. And as an in-house team, not only do you have to understand the SAM processes and the methodologies behind that, but then you also need to be skilled in the kind of the minutiae of the particular license complexities of that particular software product for that particular software vendor. I mean, it is huge as a problem. So as an external organisation, we obviously get to specialise in one or two really complex vendors, Oracle, Microsoft, IBM, etc. And we're able to kind of we learn all about that the software vendor and its products and the complexities of the licensing grants, because we work with many customers, so we kind of see all of the different little scenarios. So from a customer perspective, they're essentially they've got a small amount of staff and they're trying to cover a very wide breadth, whereas we are able to focus on one vendor or several vendors and be very deep. So we're kind of narrow and deep. So if you think about a comb, if the bit across the top is the SAM, the processes and kind of the orchestration side of it, and each one of the teeth is a particular vendor. So we can augment a customer's in-house skill sets. Obviously we can do full outsourcing, and if the customer doesn't have any in-house stuff, we can help. But most of our engagements are generally a kind of a virtual team kind of approach. So the customer will quite often manage the process and the methodology, and then we'll provide very specific guidance, on say Oracle licensing or Microsoft or IBM or something like that. So it is complex, but it is something that with the right level of approach, you can create a kind of a virtual team solution to the problem. Okay.
So if what advice would you give to a customer who's kind of looking at their software estate and says, like that, we have 100 different vendors, what do we do? What would you say is kind of the starting point?
Try not to boil the ocean.
Right.
So pick the vendors who are the ones you have the largest spend with.
Right.
The ones you have the greatest usage of, the ones you're most likely to be using over the next 3 to 5 year period. So if you've got a plan to use more Oracle or more IBM or more Microsoft, then obviously that really needs to go into that mix. And have an understanding about what your relationship is like with that vendor. Do you have a positive kind of teamwork based approach to that, or do you feel like it's a more kind of combative relationship, perhaps, where you're more likely to be audited? Because that may add to the complexity. So we would generally say look to pick the first 5 or 10 vendors who would be at the top of that, in terms of combination of complexity, spend, deployment, and that kind of relationship.
Right.
Understand what they are and approach them first, and then once you feel you've kind of got a handle on those, then do the next 5 or 10 and so on, and treat it like that, like iterative. I mean, it's an ongoing. It's never finished.
Yeah.
It's like painting the Forth Road Bridge. As soon as you get to the end, you've got to go back to the beginning and start again.
Right.
It's for life.
Okay, so obviously there's a lot of benefits to kind of taking that approach and getting that in. So is it a case of, you know, like you said, looking at those vendors, identifying the main ones, and then, you know, working with the in-house team, or is it a case of, you know, specifically looking at outsourcing those, or is it a case of, you know, whatever works for you as a customer?
It has to be very customer specific. So what works best for the customer? Do you want a full outsource? Do you want a virtual kind of an integrated team where we work together? I mean, it might change over time. You know, there can be knowledge transfer between the kind of subject matter experts and the in-house team, and so over time, potentially some of that workload could move from the outsource to the in-house team, and that's okay. You know that.
Yeah.
The thing is that it's a complex set of topics, and working using the attributes that we have together means that we will be able to deliver a much better holistic service than, you know, trying to do it independently.
Great. Thanks for that.
This fireside chat is part of a series of chats covering a wide range of license topics, which you can find at our SAM YouTube playlist below. You can also review our content on LinkedIn by using the hashtag SAMVideoChat. Finally, if you have a license concern or would like to understand how your IT projects impact your enterprise licensing, please contact us for an initial complimentary consultation at www.version1.com/contact. Thank you.